a spending top lines agreement over the weekend. What is the administration's current view on whether a shutdown can be avoided in a couple weeks?
So let me just say a couple of things since this just happened, right, over the weekend, and just want to be on the record here. So the bipartisan funding framework congressional leaders have reached moves us one step closer to preventing a needless government shutdown and protecting important national priorities. The framework reflects the funding levels negotiated as part of the bipartisan budget agreement and rejects deep cuts to programs hardworking families count on, and it provides a path to passing full year funding bills that deliver for the American people and are free of any extreme policies. Now, it is for congressional Republicans. They have to do their jobs. They must do their jobs and stop threatening to shut down the government and fulfill their basic responsibility to fund critical domestic and national security priorities, including the president's supplemental request. It's time for them to act. And so that's what we expect as far as the process and how this moves forward. That is certainly a congressional leaders. We leave it to the congressional leaders to figure out how this legislative process is going to be. But look, and we have said this over and over again, this is their basic duty when it comes to Congress and keeping the government open and funded. This is something that they are responsible for, and they should not play politics with this. These are programs that the American people rely on, and so they have to get this done.
Just to follow up on that, you say it's the Congress's job to figure this out, but surely the White House is involved. Yeah. Can you give us a sense of who's doing what and where you see the next steps happening here?
So look, I mean, you know this, the first go around, right, around the debt ceiling, the president certainly got involved, right, and there was a bipartisan agreement that was signed, that was actually signed by the president, and it became law, and it was voted by 2/3 of the House, Republican House, and it was certainly got bipartisan support in the Senate. So this is something that obviously the first go around that we were involved, and we made it happen because the president understood how important it is to get this done for the American people. As it relates to this particular deal, the administration was obviously in close touch with congressional members of both parties throughout their negotiation process on this particular outcome. And we provided, like we always do, any type of technical guidance to lawmakers. And so that is how we were involved in this particular new iteration of this.
Is there anything in this deal that the president is unhappy with?
So look, this is, if you're asking if this is consistent, right? We believe this is consistent with the original agreement that I had just kind of went through that process. And so the framework both abides by the cap set in the bipartisan budget agreement and achieves the same levels for defense and non-defense discretionary spending that we and the White House and the congressional leaders agreed to last May, as I just had laid out how this process had started originally.